They came from outer space to control the human race. Yesterday they captured me, when I'll never be the same. They put a bug inside my brain with their sonic laser beams. Now they got me under mind control, while my thoughts are not my own. A slave to them, and then they took my soul, left me a hypnotized robotic drone. They came from outer space. All my thoughts have been replaced by scientific data streams. Now they're looking through my eyes. I got nowhere left to hide. I'm not waking from this dream. Now they've got me under mind control. All my thoughts are not my own. A slave to them, and then they took my soul, left me a hypnotized robotic drone. Now they've got me under mind control, while my thoughts are not my own. A slave to them, and then they took my soul, left me a hypnotized robotic drone. A hypnotized robotic drone. A hypnotized robotic drone.
Hello and welcome to the Monastery of Flavor at St. Anthony Industries. That was Regan Ashton. Look him up on Spotify. He's going to join us for some coffee today. And in the studio today we have, of course, Regan, we have Brandy, and we have Garland from Kings Peak here with us. And we're going to be brewing their coffee. Also in the studio, as always, we have September. Say hi, September.
Hello.
And she's going to be relaying any pertinent questions concerning the C70 Brewer as we talk about it today. And also we have Andy and Aaron. So it was nice to have a real musician in here. No offense, Aaron. I'm just kidding. That's a joke.
Actually,
Aaron's great.
Aaron taught me everything he knows. So
Aaron's excellent, man. To get started, you want to say anything about Kings Peak? You guys, how do you source your beans? These are both from Colombia. So how do you say this? Juan Felipe
Aristizabal
Okay.
is how we're.
That's how you say it. Cool.
And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful name.
Here, let me move these into the shot a little bit more so people can. There we go.
So we got these two coffees from our friend Jen Hurd. She works at Genuine Origin, and she was really excited about these. So we were excited as well to try them out. And they are two natural process coffees. One is a 24-hour fermentation and one is a 48-hour fermentation. The cool thing is it's exactly the same coffee. Mr. Juan Felipe owns the wet mill. So these coffees from the Caldas region come to the wet mill, and then they're fermented two separate ways, same exact coffee, and then we roast them exactly the same. But what's exciting is the flavor difference you're getting from the two exactly the same coffees, but just from the natural process fermentation.
That's awesome. I'm excited to taste the difference. And to do that, we're going to brew on the C70 Brewer. So to get started, I'm going to outline the C70 Brewer for you real quick. This is a 70-degree brewing column. And we did ceramic as a salute to the classic ceramic brewers that have pre-existed St. Anthony Industries. We have really deep grooves in here, so you shouldn't get any clogging from vacuum sealing with the air. And we use our perfect paper filters, dual wall perfect paper filters. That's what we're using today. for this. And so the science behind the 70-degree brewing column is it gives you 30% longer brewing, which gives you more water to coffee contact, trapping microfoams in the process, giving you a really clean cup of coffee. So that's why we decided to use the C70 for a lighter roast. We're hoping to get some bright tasting notes and fruitiness out of this coffee. So I've dialed in my Millwright hand grinder, and we're just going to go ahead and start this way. So Brandy let me know that she normally brews 22 grams in and 350 grams out, correct? Mm-hmm. So that's what we're going to do today. So I don't know why I removed the hopper, but so Ashton. Regan Ashton. That's it. That's right. How long have you been playing music?
A lot longer. I should be better for how long I've been playing. I actually have been playing guitar since I was 8 years old, and I still can't play it very well. So
sounded good to me.
You played great. Do you just play acoustic, or you like?
I played in a punk band in Salt Lake City actually most of my life. I played in a band called Problem Daughter around here, and now I moved to Chicago, and now I kind of just do full country music. So
you live in Chicago right now?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you doing in Salt Lake? Just snowboarding?
Yeah, mostly I was just born and raised here.
Okay.
I actually grew up in Spanish Fork, actually. And so I played in punk bands most of my teens and 20s.
Spanish Fork. I'm from Ephraim.
Oh, really? Yeah, you're out there then.
Yeah,
Me too.
dude.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I actually just went back there a couple days ago while I was in town, and even driving through there is just it's a completely different experience. I got
like
lost.
Time stops in central Utah, man. That's what I think every time I drive here. I'm like, man, there's nothing happening here. It's crazy. Anyhow, so I ground this at 62 clicks, and I'm gonna go ahead and pre-wet my filter. And the reason I do this with the dual wall perfect paper filters is for the sake of osmosis. So water draws towards dry things, and you don't want the coffee to draw towards your filter. You want it to draw towards your coffee. So that's the reason I wet our filters. Our filters are designed to not have a lot of paper dust for them, but for the sake of osmosis, that's why I wet my filter. So we're gonna do 22 grams in, 1:16 ratio. Pour this water out, which is going to be 350 grams out, and I'm aiming for about 3 minutes and 30 seconds on the brew time in total. So we're going to go ahead and bloom this for 30 seconds. Since we're doing 22 grams in, we're going to do 44 gram bloom. Just pretty standard 1-to-2 ratio bloom for 30 seconds. And the reason we do this is to saturate the grounds. So you'll see like air bubbles coming up. You don't want it to dry out too much, so I think I'm going to increase a little bit of water before 30 seconds. Yeah, that's looking like good moment here. And then after we brew this, we're going to go ahead and brew this other one in the same exact way, and let this one cool while we're brewing the other one, and then we'll taste each one independently and let you know what we think. Does that sound good?
That sounds fantastic.
Sounds great.
Sounds great. Okay, so what I normally aim for is I want to finish pouring around 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and then I want to have a drawdown time of 3 minutes and 30 seconds total. Any other tips for brewing this coffee, Brandy?
Other than it really smells delicious the whole time that you are brewing it. When we make the pour-overs in the shop, which we use the St. Anthony's for all of our stuff, we usually right after we grind and then after first pour, sometimes we'll have the customer come smell it just because it's such.
Oh yeah. Well, it smells amazing. I love it. It's great. All right, so I'm at 220 grams right now at 1 minute and 30 seconds. Trying to hit 350 grams right here in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Probably not doing it perfect because I'm talking. It's hard to talk and brew at the same time,
yes,
you know?
It's a skill.
All right, so tell us about Kings Peak. How did you guys get started? I know you guys have been a wholesale partner with St. Anthony's for a few years now.
Yeah, we opened our doors in 2018. He had met St. Anthony's and loved everything that they did, so right off the bat we got the pour-overs. And Yeah, we just started roasting. We'd started roasting previously to that, but actually opened the shop and the roastery in October of 2018. After numerous coffee, we loved coffee, and then we went to Costa Rica and really realized how much we love coffee, and then got some direct trade partners from there. So it is, it's one of our favorite regions. So
Awesome. I backpacked through Costa Rica when I was 19 years old for like a month and a half.
Wow.
And we just like went around and drank coffee everywhere and surfed and all kinds of stuff.
Sounds
It was a lot of fun.
Sounds like a dream.
yes,
Man, this brewed a lot faster than I expected. So we're gonna hit about 3 minutes on our brew time, looks like. So still drawing down. But the cool thing about the C70 Brewer is since it's a longer brew column, 30% longer, you get more water to coffee contact, which means extraction happens a little bit quicker than like a V60 Pourover. So we hit about 3 minutes and 10 seconds on that pull down. So we're gonna set that aside. I'm just gonna remove this filter and we will let the coffee cool while we do our next brew right here. Just need to get some more hot water here. All right, and so while that's happening, I'm going to grind my coffee the same way as before. And try to hit the same time so we get a really accurate reading of the differences between the coffees if they're brewed exactly the same way, which is what we're hoping to do. But I still have my headphones on, September. You're always telling me to take my headphones off.
I'm sorry.
I got it. No, it's not your fault. I just thought it was funny.
It was mine.
All right, so let's grind this. Have you ever used the millwright?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah, we have one at home.
Yeah.
You're much more efficient at it. For some reason, I don't look as efficient.
Yeah, well, you have trouble gripping. Like,
Yes.
yeah.
So then I hold it
Some-
against myself, but then I'm like
Yeah.
hitting myself, so he just makes fun of me.
I make fun of everyone as well. When September grinds, she's like,
That's what I look like.
sorry.
I've gotten better.
This is why you're here, so we can make fun of you. I'm just
That's
kidding.
fine.
Because she's very confident. She just turned 21. She's a very confident, independent woman now. So.
I am, Make fun of me all you want. My parents decided doing it as soon as I was born. They named me after a
That's
month.
the hot water in there. Yay.
Usually hit the ground running at that point.
Oh, yeah. They said, let's just start off with a bang.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and saturate my filter again here.
We have one of those at home too.
The perfect pour-over kettle.
Yep.
It's fun to take in the mountains. Have you done that?
Yep.
I love the tiny spout on it. I always comment on the tiny spout because it's like there's no other kettle like that. And
We actually lost power for about 2 days
Just a few
weeks ago, and that was how we were preparing our coffee. 'Cause
yeah, this water's not hot enough, so I have to heat it up. So we have to kind of make jokes and stuff to compensate for the time. We're gonna wait for that water to boil. We've got to do it at the same temperature. So I thought that this water spout would be able to keep up with the demand, but it couldn't. So you started King's Peak. Did you say when you started? What year?
2018.
2018. So it's pretty new, right? Yeah. You started it, and then the pandemic happened, and then you made it through.
Yes.
That's
we
amazing.
survived the pandemic, at least up to this point.
Up to this point.
We were roasting the whole
not-
entire pandemic, and we still had
Yeah.
coffee.
Well, roasting helps because you can. Did a lot more people buy for home brewing?
Yes, a lot.
Yeah, that's why our market changed. We started doing a lot more products for the Breville machine here, because a lot of people got home espresso machines during the pandemic, and we're like, well, people need equipment. They need good equipment, the right equipment. So.
We saw a huge uptick
Oh,
in online sales once we shut the shop down. We had a lot of support from a lot of people that were coming into the shop before that. So.
Well, that's awesome that people care.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we definitely felt it, and then it kind of let us, still do what we were liking to do. So we got to roast still and
Yeah.
package, and we were hand delivering for a while, driving it to their porch. So we
Okay.
could wave
Yeah.
and then run away.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did you get set up with what are those delivery services and stuff, or no? You just did it all by?
Did it all ourselves
Mom and pop.
through most of that.
Yeah.
Dang, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right,
That way you could stay connected with community.
for sure.
So it's cool.
No, that's a great way to stay connected.
It was nice to be able to see some of the customers that you'd see every day at the shop. You know, they drop it off on their porch and then run to the curb, and you could talk from a distance. You know?
Well, I'm sure that creates some brand loyalty. Like, oh, they personally dropped off my coffee for me. That's awesome, man. So Regan, how'd you get into coffee? You like coffee. Do you know anything about coffee?
No,
You just
man,
like a taste.
I'm just one of those guys that can involve just drink. I mean, I appreciate a really good coffee.
Yeah.
But I drive so frequently that it's mostly at gas stations, and it's just hoping that it's warm. So.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. All
But I
right.
appreciate a good coffee. I'm super excited to try this stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I tried a cup of this earlier. Well, I tried the 48-hour fermentation one, and it was excellent. So that's awesome. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing as the last brew here. So I always double check my weight, make sure I have 22 grams in, which I do. So I'll tear that out, start my bloom. So I did a 1-to-2 ratio bloom. Last time I'm gonna do the same thing. If I wasn't trying to replicate, I would probably do a 1-to-3 ratio bloom based on
The time frame on
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
based on how that one worked. But we're replicating. And who knows, maybe the two coffees will brew entirely different, you know? It's always exciting.
Yeah, that's the interesting part about pour-overs is it's really your personal thing.
Okay, so after my grounds are saturated, I'll start pouring. Clean up the counter here because I'm a barista at heart and very OCD about the countertop.
Clean work area.
Yes. All right, so we're gonna try to hit 350 grams again in the same time, which is about 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the last brew. And we're letting this brew over here cool. I should really switch these now. This one's this one, and this one's this one. The reason we let the brew cool is because when something's closer to your body temperature, you're able to taste it more efficiently, more effectively. Your taste buds taste better at around 98 degrees. So you don't necessarily want to drink coffee at 98 degrees, but if it's a little bit cooler, you can really start picking out those tasting notes. And the tasting notes on these coffees are very interesting. You have strawberry, cherry, and lemon on this one, berry, cane sugar, and lime on this one. So the lemon and the lime, similar but different because of the process. So what is a natural process? Can you describe that to me?
So natural process, cherries are picked, then they put them in the bins to get any of the floaters out, basically. So then they have left just the best of the cherries, and then they take just a little bit of they're gonna put these ones in the tank first. So they're gonna put these in the tanks with mucilage on them still, and then once they're removed from the tanks, one after 24 hours, one after 48, that's if you're doing the fermentation. Then they're gonna dry, gonna be turned like 3 to 4 times a day and dry with the mucilage still on the cherry. So that's the natural process. Still on the bean. Sorry.
Mucilage. It's
Yes.
a cool word.
It's a strange word, isn't it?
It's very strange. I
So
love it.
coffee's a fruit, basically to the cherry, and then they leave that little bit of stuff on it, which gives you more nuanced flavors.
Yeah.
With your natural process, a lot of natural processes out of Ethiopia, and then we think this is really cool that Colombia's doing. This mill's doing this really cool fermentation experimentation, and I actually saw today that they just released a 72-hour of the same bean. So we might have to buy a bag of that. We'll see.
Awesome. Thank you for describing that. So this one's still hot. We're going to taste this one. So this is the 48-hour fermentation process. The Juan Felipe. Yeah, you can grab plum bottoms here. We'll use those.
Also a cool St. Anthony's product.
Yeah, the dual wall plum bottom snifters.
You could go from coffee to whiskey in the same setting.
All right, I'm gonna take this one.
Terrific.
Cool.
Thank you.
Dang, look at that ratioing right there. All right, I'm gonna taste this. So this one
That's
has.
fantastic. That's really good.
It's really good.
Oh yeah.
Tasty notes of lime, cane sugar, and berry. So it's gonna be pretty sweet and fruity from Colombia.
The lime is like you hold it on your tongue for a second, you'll get
Yeah.
that citrus.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of reminds me of what's that lime pie? Key lime? Key
Yeah.
lime pie?
Yes,
A little
yes.
bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's cool. I love it.
You can definitely taste the ferment in it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That tastes great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's.
I feel like the 3-minute brew is actually pretty perfect for that because I feel like it's right on the edge. Like it has a good extraction on it. If it were to go any longer, it would be like over extracted.
Yeah,
so,
you're right.
Yeah,
I think it's good.
it's like right on the edge. So it's super
That's
sweet.
a great brew. Turned out great.
Yeah, we have a question.
Yeah. So, Cocoa for Coffee. They asked you, I think you just went over it, but do you recommend this coffee for pour over only, or is it good for espresso as well?
That's for you.
Yes, that is. We have not tried it on espresso yet. We've done it on pour over and we've done it on drip.
Okay.
But we have not pulled it as a shot as of yet.
Ooh.
So,
I'm sure it would take a little dialing
It
in,
would
but it would
dial,
probably
yeah.
be pretty delicious if you did.
Yeah, I love dialing in the light roasts for espresso, honestly. Just pull a little bit. If I were to do this on espresso, I'd probably make my grind a bit finer and pull it for a bit longer, maybe a 40-second shot, especially if you're using like a Breville machine. If you have a commercial machine, maybe not that long, but a little bit longer to dissolve the lighter roasted coffee. Because darker roasts tend to dissolve a little bit quicker, and lighter roasts tend to be a little bit more dense and less soluble. If that makes sense. Is that the right word? Yeah.
yeah.
So
So longer pull times just to get everything out of there.
I enjoy tasting the coffee as it cools. I wish we had more time to like.
I wish I had, my willpower is, not that strong. I was
You're just like
sip it, let it sun, just like.
a typical musician.
God.
Am I right? Oh man.
That was fantastic. Delicious.
Overindulgent musician.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm also trying to say.
I love it.
We packaged these together. You can only buy them together, basically, in that little set, so that you could really try them side by side.
So good. I'm excited for the next one.
Next one. See if we can taste the difference. This one, the drawdown time was 5 seconds quicker than the last one. It's probably the way I poured it, but
Very, very close though.
yeah, it was close. Yeah, 5 second difference.
Perfect.
Yeah. Excellent. So Kings Peak is a local roaster in town. Everyone, by the time we get to this video, if I forget to say it, buy from Kings Peak. They're awesome. Check Regan Ashton out on Spotify, and are you on Apple Music and where
I think
else?
I'm on most things.
Most things.
Yeah.
He thinks he's on most things. He doesn't
Sorry
know
about
for
that.
sure.
You can find it.
It's been a while since the promotion. Due to COVID, I haven't played a lot of shows, haven't done a lot of promotion, so now I'm trying to remember all the
Yeah.
where everything is, where everything's at, where you can find it.
That's awesome. So you wrote that song, I assume, right?
No, that's actually
No.
from an old band that used to be
Okay.
in Salt Lake City. They were Left 4 Dead, a horror punk band, but they
Ooh.
just a band that Aaron and I were actually talking about them, and I think that last time we saw them was like 2008,
Yeah.
Salt Lake City. So yeah, good while ago, but just a song I've been playing in a country way for quite a while. So it's just like, you know what, let's not much swearing on the live stream. Let's not do that.
Oh yeah.
Not anything that's gonna drive any customers away. But I was just like, that's a fun one. So.
It's a fun one. So your music, I assume, did you write the music that you released or covers? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're an original artist.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So the punk band, there was two, Shane and I. We would write the songs, two different singers, but for all the solo stuff, actually, Aaron has written a few of the songs that I play. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You guys play together?
Yeah, he's been my writing partners for about 12 years as well. So.
Oh, that's fun. Dang.
Punk to country seems like quite the jump.
It seems like a strange dichotomy, and then you start to break it down by like the chords, and you're just like, man, this is really, it's about just like the technique, because really it's just standard 3 chords, and it's like and you can sing about anything you want, but the anti-establishment's still kind of in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah.
That always makes for good music.
Yeah, exactly. So it seems like a funny jump, and then you hear all these other like punk musicians who are 30, 40, 50 who are just like making that jump too, and it's just like it's just a logical step, And it's funny. I used to say that growing up in Spanish Fork and then playing punk music, and then being beat up by the country kids and the cowboy kids. I'm like, I'm never gonna get into this, and it's just like it came right back, and it's like you can take the kid out of the trailer park, but you can't take the trailer park out of the kid, kind of thing.
Came full circle.
So it's back.
That's awesome.
Nice.
All right, let's taste this coffee.
I already took a sip.
Oh, you already?
Yeah,
Wow. I think
So
This is great.
this one tastes better. This brew was better.
I prefer that one over the 48, but
Yeah.
but it's very unique. The 48, the fact that it's got a little more fermentation flavor to it. It's a little stronger. It's not for everybody necessally, but
I'm not
That
saying
was the first one.
the first
First
one
one
was
was
48.
I like the yeah, you said the fermentation that
Yeah.
taste. That's what I liked. I kind of just like the taste of. I wouldn't say like when you drink like vermouth or something, that bitterness that's
Sure.
like actually is something
Yeah.
that I really enjoy. So the fermentation part is what I like, and this one's just as good. But I might be a number 1 guy.
Yeah,
So.
you're a number 1 guy.
It's
I love
interesting
it.
that they're so different.
Yeah, they're so different. Like, I'm not saying like I think the brew. I would change how I brewed this one, because I feel like this brew is right on point.
Yeah.
This one was like on the edge of over extracted, right? Which made it really sweet, but it was a little bit dry. This one's like really
juicy.
juicy.
Yeah.
Very juicy.
As I'm drinking this, I'm thinking that I'm really excited that the weather's changing, because we can do this on iced pour over, and
Oh,
that's
that'd
going
be
to be
fantastic.
absolutely
Oh, yeah.
delicious.
Yeah.
Like, super good.
We should do some ice pour over tutorials September.
Those
Let's
are
do
fun.
it sometime.
If you insist,
If you
I will
insist.
do it.
And tomorrow we'll do some reels, C70, but maybe we'll do some espresso with these as well and let you guys know how it goes. As far as this one goes, man, strawberry, cherry, and lemon, I totally get that. I'm getting like a little bit of peach as well. Is it a fresh roast? Is it like super fresh, or is it
That one's about 3 weeks off.
3 weeks off? Okay,
Yeah.
so it still has that like carbon dioxide coming off of it.
A lot of those natural coffees, some of them will really not even come into the best flavor until they're closer to 3 to 4 weeks off.
Let it
So
wait. Just let it sit for a bit.
Yeah, our Ethiopia is interesting because it does the same thing, like right off roast, and then 3 weeks later it's just completely different and so good. And sometimes like the old, we'll save the older and put it on drip, and then we drink it on drip and we're like, oh my god, it's so good. So
Yeah.
it's
That's so awesome. Thank you guys for joining us on the stream.
Thank you.
Man, I'm really enjoying this one right here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, for sure. Before we conclude, just results comparison. If you use a we're highlighting the C70 Brewer today, which is the 70-degree ceramic brewer with the open bottom by St. Anthony Industries. And the difference is if you have a V60 at home, just know that the 70-degree angle provides more water to coffee contact. So you can brew a little bit quicker, and you can brew in higher quantities than the V60, because you can dose more and brew quicker. And also with the deep grooves, you're not going to get any choking on your brew if you're using the Perfect Paper filters. The Perfect Paper filters also have a dual wall, so they create a really clean cup of coffee. You're not going to get a lot of microfines through the filter. You're not going to get a lot of oils through the filter. If you like those oily shots, I mean, you can do espresso or whatever, but as far as pour-overs go, I prefer clean pour-overs, and the C70 is really my preferred brewing method as far as pour-overs go. I prefer it with the lighter roasted coffees because you get more of those bright tasting notes coming out of it as well. So that's the C70 Brewer. This is King's Peak. This is Regan Ashton. I'm trying to remember everybody's names today.
It's all good. It's all
you know,
good.
so buy a supply from King's Peak. Listen to Regan Ashton.
There you go.
And yeah, thank
And
you guys
drink
for
good
joining
coffee.
us.
Yeah, thank
Drink
you.
good coffee. Thank you guys for taking the time for us with us in the Monastery of Flavor today. We'll see you next week.